What's going on, traders? So we got our 25 basis points, but not only did we get 25 basis points, but the Fed has announced that we are getting three rate cuts this year, with the next two being 50 basis points. So what does this mean for the overall market? Well, in my humble opinion, keyword opinion, I do believe that this is extremely bullish news and that the market is going to start pricing this news in. Now, whether that happens tomorrow, Friday, or next week, I can't say for sure, but I do believe that since the market is forward looking, that we're going to start pricing this news in despite how hawkish Jerome Powell sounded. Now, if we are talking about today, right, we ended up closing pretty flat. And so my belief is that the market is waiting for some more confirmation on whether to go further to the upside or towards the downside. And so tomorrow we do have unemployment claims at 8:30 Eastern. And so I do think this is going to help the market determine what direction it wants to go, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. Now, if we are looking at some charts, right? So for example, let's look at Nvidia here. If we look at Nvidia's daily time frame, we could be potentially forming some type of inverse head and shoulders pattern. Keyword is potential. All right, you got a shoulder here, head here, another shoulder here, and your neckline, I would argue, is at around 180. We talked about this in multiple videos. So what we want to see here is not only a break of this structure here at around 180, you could say 182, right? We want to see a break of this trend. So break, retest, and then a pump towards the upside, with 200 being my lowest target. Highest I'm looking at is about 230 for Nvidia. Now, obviously, if Nvidia is heading towards 200, that could lead to a blow off top in the overall market, right? So again, what we want to see here with Nvidia, because you have a potential shoulder here or an actual shoulder here, head here, and a potential shoulder here, we just need confirmation for some upside from here. From here, we want to see a break and retest of this trend, but not only a break and retest of this trend, but a break and retest of 180. And from there, I do imagine we're going to see Nvidia go ballistic towards the upside. Again, we want to wait till tomorrow to see how the market digests news before making decisions. So heading into open, again, I'm going to wait 30 minutes into open to see what happens here. All right, so let's go over Tesla. Tesla. So here's my thing. This is something I wanted Discord members to pay attention to here, is that despite the SPY tanking, right? We saw the SPY drop to like what, 655, and then we saw the Qs drop to like 585, right? But when you're looking at the Mag 7, you didn't see really any key levels get broken outside of Nvidia, but that happened before we even got the rate cut news, right? But when you look at Tesla, right, what level have we been talking about for the past few videos? 414. And Tesla, I mean, this thing held strong, right? It not only held 414, but it bounced back towards the upside and went all the way to 427. And like I've said multiple times, even in the last video, I don't think Elon Musk bought all those shares for the market to just up and correct or even crash. That would be insane, right? So I do believe that Elon Musk was pretty much giving us a hint on what direction the market is going to go, despite what news we get today. And I think the market is going to continue towards the upside. Now, obviously, we're going to see dips along the way, but I do believe that we're going to continue to see more upside. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. I could be wrong. Maybe tomorrow we just gap towards the downside and then I end up looking stupid. It is what it is. But for now, Tesla looks good. You saw a bounce off 414. My next target for Tesla is about 440, 450 being the highest. I will say, keep in mind that Tesla is very overextended on the daily time frame, so you want to be careful here. But what you want to see with Tesla right now is a hold above the 424 level, 425 psych level, and then from there you're heading towards 430, and then 430, 430, 435 highs. We're looking at is 450. Can Tesla head higher than that? Absolutely. It's just for now, we're going to play the safe game. All right. So that's what we're looking at for Tesla. Amazon, another stock that just held its key level, right? We saw Amazon tank all the way to about 228 gap fill and just hold that level. Now, if we go to the 4 hour time frame here, you see that Amazon is continuing to make higher lows, right? We can also say that it's making lower highs, but this is a good sign. You got a low here, higher low here, and then you ended up closing today with another higher low. Now, what we want to see here is a break and hold above 236. 234 is a key level, but the reason why we're talking about 236 right now is that these guys right here, right? So we want to see a break, retest, and then continuation towards the upside, and we open up the gates towards 240. So even if we get above 234, guys, what you want to see once again is a break above these guys right here at around 236. We get above 236, I do believe Amazon can head towards 242. Right, so this is what we're looking at for Amazon. Coreweave. I'm still hyped about this thing. All right, I'm still hyped about this thing until I'm proven wrong. I'm still hyped about Coreweave. Right, we talked about Coreweave in the Discord today. I've been talking about it pretty much all week, like the past 2 days, I guess. Right, but when it comes to Coreweave, what did we see today? We saw Coreweave hold a key level of 114. Again, like I said, you saw all this volatility towards the downside and even the upside, but you didn't break any key levels. I could be speaking too soon. So what we want to see here with Coreweave is a break above this trend line right here. Not only a break above this trend line, but a break above 125. If Coreweave gets above 125, you're heading to 150. Lowest target is 135. Now, what are my confirmations? Ascending triangle, inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? You got the UK news, right, with Nvidia. So things are looking pretty good for CoreWeave. We just need more confirmation. We need that breakout. All right. If we get that breakout, if we get that break and retest of 125, the sky is the limit. Highest we can be looking at for CoreWeave, if we're talking about long term, is about 180. But for now, we're gonna lowball it. We're gonna be humble. We're not gonna be overly greedy. We're looking at 135, between 135 and 150, right where these guys are. So I think CoreWeave is ready. It's going to potentially blow maybe sometime this week, maybe sometime next week, but CoreWeave looks really good. Again, do not jump the gun. Wait for confirmation. Wait for that break and retest. All right. Again, inverse head and shoulders pattern, ascending triangle. You guys get the idea. All right. So, moving on. So, coin, another stock that kind of held this key level, but I don't like this wick right here. So I do think we're going to end up retesting this area around 315, and then we'll see what happens from there. Anytime you make wicks like this, like huge wicks like this, you end up revisiting them. So here's a good example right here. Right, you wicked all the way down, and then this candle right here ended up liquidating this area before continuing back towards the upside. So I think we're going to see the same scenario here, where coin ends up revisiting 315. Lowest we're talking about is 312, and then you see that pump back towards the upside. Now, obviously, Bitcoin needs to be bullish for this to happen, so we'll have to wait and see. But for now, coin, I do think as long as coin, or if coin can get above 320 and actually hold, you have potential for more upside. Your main level of all levels right now, outside of 320, is about 323. What I want to see today, and I was actually going to alert this. What I want to see today with coin is a break and retest of this 323 level, right? So break, retest, and then from there, I think coin will actually be ready to finally see some upside. Again, this thing is very, 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 very annoying to trade. All right. Very annoying to trade. I mean, you see it right here. Look at just how volatile this is. You're just wicking back and forth. Your premiums are getting destroyed. I mean, it's just this thing sucks. But when it moves, it moves. Okay. So coin 323 is the level I'm looking at for more upside. For now, I think we're probably going to start revisiting 314, 315, and then we'll see what happens from there. That's what I'm looking at for coin. MSTR, congratulations if you took MSTR. 340 was one of my targets. Can it head higher? Yes. Um, Keep in mind you're just trading in this range right here when it comes to MSTR between like 340, 320. So, maybe tomorrow we head towards 320 and then bounce back towards the upside. So, it could be a low risk trade, right? If we see MSTR hit about 320 tomorrow, you could take a low risk trade, maybe set a tight stop loss at around 317, and then it bounces back towards the upside, revisits 340 all over again. But as you guys can see, you just keep doing this game over and over. So what you want to see here obviously is MSTR to get above 340 and actually hold, and then from there you're heading towards 350. That's what we're looking at for MSTR. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, just the same thing, right? You're just trading in a range, right? You're not really going too far to the upside. When you do, bears just step in. You're not going too far to the downside. 114K needs to hold here for Bitcoin. As long as you stay above 114K, you're fine. But ultimately, what you want to see with Bitcoin is a break above 117.5. All right, 117.5. But for now, I don't know why I'm on a 15-minute chart. But for now, you're just in this really, really ridiculous range, right? You're not really going anywhere to the upside. You're not really going anywhere to the downside. All right. So that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin. Um, and Meta. Meta still looks good. It still looks okay. You're just again, today you just saw a lot of stocks just trade in a range, right? You're just not seeing anything crazy to the upside, but you're not seeing anything too bad to the downside, excluding Nvidia, right? So Meta still looks good. I think you're going to probably see 800 with Meta as long as you stay above 765. 800 is definitely possible. What you want to see here So it's a break above 784, 785 cycle level, and then from there, I think 800 will become pretty easy. So that's what we're looking at for Meta. Palantir. I'm this thing. Palantir is really annoying. It just got news today as well. So I mean, Palantir at some point in time does need to revisit this area here, liquidate this area here at around 190, between 185, 190. So I mean, it's very much possible that Palantir just continues to the upside from here. Just liquidate this area before whatever happens happens. So yeah, that's Palantir. Apple, another stock that just refused to break down. Right back to where it started. Apple, your key level here is 237. Despite the drop that we saw today in the SPY and triple Qs, you just did not, that it just didn't happen. Okay, so 242 still my target with Apple, and then from there we'll have to wait and see. 242, 243 is my short term target, and then we'll have to wait and see. At this point, I don't think it's worth trading. Right, it's at 239. I mean, you want to, I don't know, scalp or something, by all means. But for now, Apple still looks good. Still looks good for that target. I mean, it's not much from here, so we'll see. 260 is my ultimate target from Apple. How we get there, I have no clue. All right. Hood. I didn't plot Hood, but Hood actually it still looks good. I think at some point in time it just needs to revisit 120. But what you want to see with Hood is a break above 125, 124, but 125 psych level, and then from there we'll have to wait and see what happens. Um, This gap towards 105, that would be a good entry for Hood if we do just so happen to revisit that. But for now, Hood just it looks okay. All right, it doesn't look crazy. It doesn't look too crazy for downside. It doesn't look too crazy for upside. But as long as you stay above 117.5, I think Hood is okay. All right, and that's pretty much it. All right. Actually, UNH, I'm pretty bullish on. It's still trading within this gap fill. Still has an opportunity to head towards 380. It's just a matter of when. So UNH still looks good. I told Discord members that if UNH can stay above, or a good entry for UNH will be 335. We saw institutions load up 350 calls for UNH and also 360 calls for UNH. So it's very much possible that this thing can continue back towards the upside, possibly head towards that 380 gap fill. Very liquid here. So we'll have to wait and see. But UNH looks fine. It looks pretty bullish in my opinion, as long as we hold those key levels. And last one, I mean, we'll go over the futures real quick. You filled this gap. I mean, I think today was mostly about filling this gap, and then I mean, this candle looks very bullish in my opinion. Like this looks extremely bullish. So we'll possibly see a move towards 24,650, 24,670 before heading back towards the downside. Again, I could be speaking too soon. ES, same thing. You saw us fill this gap, right? And then you just wake back towards the upside. So it's looking pretty bullish, but I could be speaking too soon. All right, I can be speaking too soon. Maybe we gap down tomorrow. That's usually the case after Fed meetings, but considering that we got a different type of news this Fed meeting, which is three rate cuts this year, I would say that's pretty bullish. All right. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think I'm speaking too soon? Do you think I'm cooked? Right. All that fun stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, traders.